This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
It's too stressful. Nobody needs anything, don't know what to buy. Trying to get it all done in a short amount of time. The day after Christmas is the relaxing part.
It's not always a laughing matter. As the holidays arrive, Americans report feeling more stress than any other time of the year. There's also a spike in substance abuse and drunk driving incidents. Tonight, we'll hear from clinical psychotherapists about what you can do to help make the season safe and ease some of the anxiety. Good evening, I'm Ray Collins. Alan is off tonight. More anti-stress tips next, but first, our top 7 stories at 7. We're learning more about the 15-year-old shot while playing basketball in Manatee County's Pride Park. The teen was not the target of the shooting, they say, but instead caught in the crossfire. The boy is a football and basketball player at Southeast High School, and his friends say he is now in stable condition. People in the Pride Park neighborhood say this incident is only part of a larger problem with gun violence in the area.
We need to put the pride back in park. There's no pride here right now. Everybody's scared. We got bullets flying everywhere, you know, and they're mostly coming from teenagers.
One community leader says there have been 4 other shootings near the park in the past month alone. Have you seen this man? The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is trying to find him. They say that Michael Freeman is wanted for probation violation, selling cocaine, and having a suspended driver's license. His resume also includes 5 prior arrests in the area for drug crimes, assault, and resisting arrest. If you can help find him, call Crime Stoppers at this number, 366-TIPS. A former prosecutor with the Sarasota State Attorney's Office now faces another investigation. The Herald Tribune tells us the Florida Bar Association is now investigating Jessie Weissman as well. She was allegedly involved in 2 accidents only minutes apart earlier this year. Weissman was driving home from an alleged night of drinking in Punta Gorda last summer. The Florida Highway Patrol says she rear-ended a car on I-75 near Clark, but kept on going. The driver she hit then followed her and said he saw her swerve into that cement sign at Fruitville and Cattleman. Now, she was not given a breathalyzer, and that's also part of the investigation. Weissman was fired from the state attorney's office shortly after the incident. Also under investigation why FHP didn't give Weissman a breath test at the time. More delays for a new downtown Sarasota cocktail lounge project. A stop work order has been posted on the front door of the Cask and Ale Bar and Restaurant on Main Street. Workers were reportedly painting a sign without a proper city permit. The owners are also involved in a trademark lawsuit over the bar's name. No word yet on when this place will open. Shoppers buying online continue to take a dent out of the traditional busiest shopping day of the year. According to a market research company, more than 40% of millennials will do most of their shopping online. Some say going online takes out all the fun of shopping.
I miss that part, you know, when you pull up to one of those big stores and there's no line out front and you're not trying to find a cart or waiting hours to check out, but it's still fun.
The whole point of being here is to socialize with one another, okay? It's not to text, Twitter, or whatever you call it. This is fun. This is what life is all about. This is living.
Despite the smaller crowds, experts predict shoppers will spend $20 billion nationwide today alone. The numbers are also in on yesterday's effort by the Salvation Army, and they say they passed out 810 meals to the homeless on Thanksgiving Day alone. The staff says that number is actually lower than previous years. And efforts continue in Cortez to raise a historic ship that was swamped during Hurricane Hermine a few months ago. The ship is called San Francisco. It sank at the dock outside the Seafood Shack last August. The Cortez Classic Yacht Guild is helping the owners restore and raise the vessel. Earlier this month, pumps were placed on the boat to get the water out. Once the owner is able to raise the boat, it'll be put in dry dock and restored. The Italian ship was built back in 1870, around the same time that Steve Newman first did weather at ABC7. Let's get into details now from Steve.
We had it come in by Morse code. It was even before Morse code, I think. Currently at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, 74, our dew point 62, humidity 66%. We made it again to 86 degrees at the airport. I'm beginning to think maybe that airport thermometer is not quite right. I live about 3,000 feet from there, and I got up to 83. Last night's low was 67. The record high for the state, 87, so 1 degree shy of that officially. Here's our futurecast showing a front coming through tomorrow. Not a lot with it, not a lot of clouds, no rain, just slightly drier air, maybe a drop of a degree or two in forecast highs for Sunday once it gets on past. But for tonight, partly cloudy, a few patches of fog again in inland areas. Our low temperature is 63. Tomorrow, a mostly sunny and warm day, turning breezy in the afternoon, high temperature 80. And here's the 7-day outlook showing that slight cooling that will go on Sunday morning and the rest of Sunday, but it warms back up and we get more humidity in the air by the middle of next week. Ray?
Thank you, Steve. Talk to you soon. Still to come, more Americans feel a higher level of stress around the holidays. But what causes it exactly? More in our roundtable discussion.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Roberts. The holiday deals just keep coming. After a busy shopping weekend, retailers are now looking at adding more deals online. Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you what's being offered for Cyber Monday. Josh?
And it's been such a dry November, but it looks like there could be some rain in our forecast. We'll have the details.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
The all-new mysuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
'Tis the season to be stressed out. The holidays, the family, the traffic, the shopping, the finances. Did I mention the family? ABC7's Adam Cellini helps put it into perspective.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Andy Williams may have described the holidays as the pinnacle of joy, but shoppers Beth and Charles Riggs just want it to end.
It's too stressful. Nobody needs anything, don't know what to buy. Trying to get it all done in a short amount of time. The day after Christmas is the relaxing part.
Tasked with hosting this holiday, Beth will follow a delicate process she's refined over the years.
I stress out, and then at the end of the day, it all gets done. So it's just getting through the days.
According to a recent Healthline.com survey, over 60% of each adult age group admits to feeling stressed during the holidays. The same survey lists some of the leading causes as shopping, scheduling, overeating, and finances, though make no mistake, the list goes on. The source? Psychotherapist Miriam Lasher says in many cases, it's the pursuit of perfection.
Sometimes people are so traditional in their perspectives that if I don't do it the way
way my mother did it, my father did it, my grandmother did it, then I'm not doing it the right way.
Stress often needs an outlet, and those outlets can be harmful. Last year, car accidents in Florida were highest during the month of December. And on the Suncoast, where addiction still runs rampant, the holiday stress creates a perfect environment for a relapse.
We do acknowledge that usually right after the holidays, we see a little bit of an uptick in folks coming in for many reasons, financial reasons, family issues tend to come out pretty strongly during the holidays because families get together.
Lasher says media, advertising, and the increased popularity of Black Friday are distorting people's ability to identify their true values, a major tool in stress management.
If we could turn off the hype and reassess, what am I grateful for? What do I feel really good about in my life? It probably isn't what they're going to buy on Friday or even starting midnight on Thursday.
Shoppers aren't the only ones feeling the heat. According to the National Retail Federation, several companies depend on the holidays for nearly 1/3 of their annual sales. David Hager manages the sales floor at Target on University Parkway.
It's just like preparing for a big game, you know, you're getting ready to play the fourth quarter right now. So, you know, just making sure everybody's out there on the floor, just grinding away.
Like many stores, Target hires seasonal employees to help meet expectations while keeping their own stress levels down.
Don't get stressed out as long as you have good plans in place. So that's what we're working on, making sure all those plans are set and make sure we're ready to execute on a high level.
But one former retail employee turned shopper says stress is inevitable.
No Black Friday for me. Too stressful. I was in retail for pretty much 12 years. I saw like a good bit of it.
Lasher says the anxiety can be overcome. It starts with discarding the image of that Norman Rockwell dinner.
Please take that, rip it up, and put it someplace else. That is not what most families experience.
Instead, plan a holiday around what matters to you, and maybe then you'll agree with Andy Williams. In Sarasota, Adam Cellini, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
So how can you manage some of that holiday stress? And what about the pressure on local businesses who depend on our good cheer? When we return, we'll speak with a clinical psychotherapist and the head of the Chamber of Commerce to put it into perspective.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
Attention breast cancer survivors. If you experience permanent hair loss or baldness after chemotherapy, you may qualify for a cash award. Thousands of women suffering breast cancer were given a chemotherapy drug without being warned about the possibility of irreversible alopecia. If you or a loved one suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy, call 888-622-8732. Time to file a claim is limited. 888-622-8732. That's 888-622-8732.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, I have an important message. You may be entitled to receive disability benefits through Social Security. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals and hearings. Best of all, there are no upfront fees, so you pay nothing until you receive your benefits.
Call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And Because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Welcome back. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but not for everyone. The holidays ratchet up the number of stress factors. According to the American Psychological Association, nearly 70% of people surveyed say they experience stress over lack of money and lack of time during the holidays. 51% feel stress over the pressure to give. Women in particular report higher levels of stress than men at this time of year. It could also be stressful for businesses. According to the Florida Retail Federation, holiday shopping accounts for up to 40% of some retailers' annual sales. So what's the best way to handle all this stress? Joining us for more on tonight's topic is Leslie Beth Wish, a licensed clinical psychotherapist, and Kevin Cooper, president and CEO of the Sarasota Chamber of Commerce. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
How are we going to get through the next 2 months? It seems like we build up the holiday season so much from all these factors because unlike a birthday or an anniversary, we're all going through it together. So you see it not only in the stores, but also on the roads.
Well, it's too much. You know, it's supposed to be a happy time, but there's too much traffic. There's not enough time. That was mentioned in your clip.
She brought props.
All right. This is what happens. You schedule your time, and look what happens. It goes too fast, and you begin to feel like you've lost control. And the other thing that begins to happen, we've talked about this, and your clip had that too, you end up spending too much money. You've procrastinated, you're stuck at the last minute just grabbing something that ends up being more money, and you're left with not even enough money to go to Starbucks, okay? That won't get you anything. So why does this happen? All these things are related to one issue.
Kevin, where are your props?
I am the prop.
You know, as I tell you, the one prop that really kind of hit me is what was in Adam's story, and that we just reported that up to 40% of annual sales for retailers are tied to the holiday season, which I would imagine puts the people who are managing those companies or owning them under a huge amount of stress.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at the quarter that stretches from November to January, so think of the pre-holiday sales and then kind of that post-holiday downflow, you have a lot of anxiety leading up to that point, especially when you have a big nut to crack of that 20 to 40% range you were talking about. So being able to capture all of the consumers' attention leading up to that time period, making sure you're maximizing sales during the time period that you're hitting those goals can be very stressful, but can also be very rewarding as it plays out.
You know, every year it's different. I believe at the end of last year that it was very hard for area retailers to make their marks. What are you hearing in terms of going into this holiday season?
You know, it's interesting. Earlier on in the year, analysts were predicting a pretty strong retail holiday season. All the headline benchmarks were there. Stronger hiring, wage growth, credit utilization, consumer confidence. Everything was trending towards a pretty strong retail holiday season. And then, like we do every 4 years, we had a presidential election cycle. And oftentimes those can shake consumer confidence. And I think this election cycle, more so than many in the past, shook confidence to a different core than we'd seen. So the timing might be a little off this retail holiday season as people are kind of recovering from a lot of the uncertainty created by a very media-profound, tumultuous election cycle.
And it's not just businesses affected in that way, it's personal relationships. I know friends who have had a lot of stress in their relationships. I know husbands and wives who have had stresses because of the election, and now we're going into the holiday season compounding that.
Particularly if in your family you have different positions politically, socially, as to what happened and what to do about it. And so here you are spending all your time, all your money, and what is it for? It's to have a good, happy feeling in your family. And now you have a situation where maybe you're not sure what the conversation's going to become and what you're going to do to handle it.
Because in many of us, travel for the holidays, or we have family coming here, and it makes almost not an ordinary situation. It's not, you know, when you put that kind of pressure on any kind of interpersonal relationship, under that kind of stress with everything else, you know, it's asking for trouble in some cases.
You arrive at your destination, let's say you're traveling, we were talking about this before. Airports are more crowded, your flight's delayed, it's the weather delays, it's screaming children, things don't go as well, the traffic is awful, you can't find a parking space, you've spent too much money, you've already eaten too much because you're in the airport and you're buying junk food, or in the car driving somewhere and there's no great places to eat that have some kind of temptation. So the whole journey, the whole process, and again, trying to find, as was mentioned in that clip, something perfect, a perfect gift.
Kevin, I'm going to ask you this briefly because we have to go to a commercial, but are area businesses prepared in terms of the amount of people coming into the area and staying here, because obviously we are a destination?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of businesses deal with the cyclical nature of what they do, and our retail businesses are no different. We understand the seasonal nature of folks that come down, the snowbirds, so to speak, of what they do during the season, and people that are traveling. So I think it's something we've seen play out year over year, so we're always prepared.
Okay, we are just getting started. We have much more to discuss here on our roundtable, but when we return, we'll bring you a look at your forecast.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
More discussion next on holiday stress. But first, let's check the weekend forecast from meteorologist Steve Newman.
There is no stress in the weather office this holiday weekend. If you were lucky enough to have a 4-day weekend, boy, you had a bonus day today. Partly cloudy skies, a little bit sticky, but not all that bad compared to the awful summer we had. And sunset over Lakewood Ranch, a beautiful sky as the clouds are beginning to part as the temperatures start to drop. 74. The current temperature at SRQ, the dew point 62. It'll be in the 50s by Sunday morning, and you'll feel a little fresher conditions in the air. Well, across the nation, all the cold air is bottled up in Canada and in the south. Still quite mild, very seasonable weather as a result of the jet stream keeping that cold air to the north, and there are really no heavy storms across most of the nation until you get out in the Pacific Northwest. And here's a major winter storm bringing beneficial rain and snow to the Pacific Northwest in California. And believe it or not, this front here is going to bring us our next chance of rain next Thursday. Let's watch the progress of this front on our long-range futurecast, bringing rain into California this weekend, rushing across the country, and by Monday afternoon could produce a round of severe storms through the Mississippi Valley as a gust in the jet stream arrives right with that front. But then the front heads our way later on by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And by Thursday morning, it's poised across far northern Florida. What I see in this run, it's been changing from computer run to computer run. Most of the moisture is leaving it, so right now it's indicating coming through mainly dry on Thursday into Friday morning, but we'll see. Now let's take a look at the next 2 days, only the weekend, same futurecast. Here's another front coming through, dry, hardly any clouds at all tomorrow afternoon, and this is what will bring us in slightly drier and milder conditions for Sunday. And by Sunday afternoon, we should have temperatures in the upper 70s rather than low 80s. So here's my forecast. Partly cloudy with patches of fog, as we saw the last couple of nights in inland areas. Our low temperature 63 with north-northeast winds at 5. Now tomorrow those winds are going to pick up, especially out in the open water. So could get a little bumpy out there. North-northeast winds 5 to 10, gusting to 15, high temperature 80. And here's your 7-day outlook showing not only do we cool off just ever so slightly into Sunday, but look at Thursday and Friday when that front I just showed you gets by, bringing our next chance of rain with a 30% chance of showers on Thursday. Friday, only 20%. We'll be back with our roundtable discussion right after these words.
I had cancer. I beat cancer. I kicked cancer.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Welcome back. The holidays are here, and that could mean extra stress for many people. And our guests join us now for final thoughts on how to manage it all. And here's a really interesting topic that we've been talking about for 2 different reasons, and that is gift cards, because it's become such a staple for retailers. And it also solves a lot of problems when you're dealing with the family member who you have no idea what to buy.
You know, a lot of people diss gift cards. They think it's too impersonal. I would love gift cards to my favorite stores, but my friends and family know what my favorite stores are. So instead of walking into Walgreens and pulling something off the shelf that from one of the retailer cards that they have. Find out in advance what stores someone likes to shop at, and then it becomes more personalized. Hey, I know you like this particular men's store, and I got you a gift card to that men's store, as opposed to just picking any old card that is available. So I think that makes it a lot easier. You don't go as crazy looking for the perfect sweater, the perfect this, and hope and cross your fingers that it works for them. So I'm actually a big fan of gift cards.
How big a role does that play in local businesses? Because you go into Publix or the bookstore or many major retailers, you can there are sections you could go to buy gift cards, but that doesn't they don't include gift cards for local restaurants and so forth. So what do local companies have in terms of their ability to get this out there?
Yeah, gift cards are great, but also gift certificates are a great option. We forget about the older gift certificates that are still available, and they're a great option for any business. A lot of the statistics show that most users who get a gift certificate end up spending a little bit more money than the gift certificate allows for. You might spend 20, 30, 40% more than the gift certificate or gift card is purchased for while you're there for your experience, whether it be restaurant or retail or whatever you're doing. So gift cards are a really great option to introduce a consumer to a place for the first time, but also when they come in, they end up spending a little bit more on average than just the gift card allows for. So it's a great option for businesses, and it's been a very strong part of the retail holiday seasons.
LB, you have a number of suggestions for people in terms of how to handle this time of year. What would they be?
Well, instead of worrying about how you can win that prize, how you can feel the love from your family and finally be seen as a good person and a valued person, here's a better goal, and I mentioned this at the other segment. Change the perception as to how your family views you. Because when you go back to visit your family, you go way back. You go to when you were a little child, sibling rivalry, not being the favorite or being the one who didn't get the family business. So here's what you can do. Plan ahead. I love writing old-fashioned letters. What you can do, and it's not too late because you can bring letters with you, write a little note to every person. Say just something nice about them. I'm excited to hear about your school play to the young children. Or when you heard that, Aunt Dora had a great recovery from her broken knee. Something nice. That automatically changes their perception of you and gets you much closer to feeling the love. The other things you can do is bring a bowl or a bucket. I brought this bucket. Have everyone write down and help the kids write something nice to say about someone and write their name on the back. You put the names in the bucket, fold them over, and each one goes around the table and draws out the card and reads it. And because you started that, you get the credit.
And Kevin, I'll give you the final word. All the retailers out there, are their store shelves stocked, or are they all set with their employees? Or are we ready for the onslaught of shopping?
Yeah, no doubt. They've trained their seasonal employees. The stores are stocked. They're ready for their sales, and they're ready to see everyone come out with a renewed sense of confidence for this holiday season. And not to win the prize, but to come out and enjoy the festival spirit of giving.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to leave it there. I want to thank you both for being here tonight. Leslie Beth Wish is a licensed clinical psychotherapist, and Kevin Cooper is the president and CEO of the Sarasota County Chamber of Commerce. I want to thank you. Hope you both have a stress-free holiday. When we return, we'll have a final look at your weekend weather.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Checking primetime headlines now, a division is breaking out within the Trump camp about who should be Secretary of State. Some say former Governor Mitt Romney could fit, but others can't forget his harsh anti-Trump talk during the campaign. The latest from ABC's Lana Zak.
As President-elect Donald Trump moves forward with his cabinet picks, there is an internal struggle for Secretary of State, with Trump advisors split over Mitt Romney or Rudy Giuliani.
Is the mayor a candidate for Secretary of State?
Trump loyalists are advocating for the former New York City mayor, but there is concern that with potential conflicts of interest from his foreign business entanglements, he could face a difficult confirmation. By contrast, Mitt Romney would send a signal to the world as a more moderate diplomat.
Donald Trump is a phony.
But he was one of Mr. Trump's harshest critics during the campaign.
This is a guy, as you remember, that called Donald Trump a phony, a fraud, and a con.
And senior advisor Kellyanne Conway tweeted, some Trump loyalists warn against Romney as Secretary of State. As for Secretary of Defense, General Jim Mattis is considered a top contender.
He is the real deal.
Other major posts awaiting appointment: Treasury, Homeland Security, and Veterans Affairs. Meanwhile, the transition team announced 2 staff-level appointments, but said no cabinet appointments would be made before Monday. And on a very different note, former Green Party candidate Jill Stein has raised $3.5 million for recounts in key states.
What we are saying is that there's enough peripheral evidence to warrant that our system should be investigated. It's just not about the outcome. It's about the process.
Her campaign officially filed for a Wisconsin recount in advance of their Friday deadline. Hillary Clinton, who now leads in the popular vote by around 2 million, has not weighed in.
Meanwhile, a U.S. official confirms that the president-elect has had just 2 intelligence briefings. The vice president has had more, but experts say there is still time for him to get up to speed. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
And here's a peek inside the Trump Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago last night in Palm Beach. The soon-to-be first family had a choice of 6 main courses and nearly a dozen desserts, including 3-layer Trump chocolate cake. The president-elect had some extra guests as well as in Secret Service, 150 Secret Service as well in Palm Beach. One of the hot spots facing the president-elect is Syria, and things just got a little worse this week. A bomb went off in northern Syria, killing a U.S. soldier on Thanksgiving Day. This is the first time a U.S. service member has been killed in Syria, where they are battling ISIS. He's one of 300 troops in Syria since last year. 4 other U.S. service members have been killed in Iraq fighting the terrorist group. The man accused of killing 9 people in a Charleston church last year has been declared fit to stand trial. A judge ruled that Dylan Roof is competent to face charges. The judge had stopped jury selection earlier this month so the 22-year-old could be evaluated. Jury selection now resumes on Monday. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. Wells Fargo customers have opened a class action lawsuit against the bank over its fake account scandal. But Wells Fargo is playing hardball. The bank is asking a U.S. district court to force customers to settle their claims behind closed doors. The bank is being sued for opening as many as 2 million unauthorized accounts. Wells Fargo has since apologized for the wrongdoing. And services are being planned for one of America's favorite TV mothers from the 1970s. Yep. Florence Henderson has passed away of heart failure last night. She was surrounded by family and friends in Los Angeles at the hospital there. Her manager said she wasn't even sick, and her friends and family are shocked by her death. She was 82 years young. Hard to believe. That's our news for now. I'm Ray Collins. We'll see you tonight at 11.